Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into the future of blockchain. You see, this technology is at a massive crossroads. It's caught in this incredible battle between total government control on one side and the dream of a user-owned internet on the other. What happens next? Well, it's going to define the future of money and really your place in it. For years, let's be honest, blockchain has felt like the Wild West, right? A kind of unregulated frontier for digital pioneers and speculators. But that's changing, and it's changing fast. The days of flying under the radar are completely over. What we're seeing now is this massive clash of powerful ideas about what this technology should even become.
All right, so let's get into it. The first major force we need to talk about is governments. They're not just sitting on the sidelines anymore. They are stepping right in to write the rulebook for this whole new digital world.
And they are grappling with some huge fundamental questions. I mean, how you answer these literally defines everything. Is a crypto token a piece of a company, kind of like a security, or is it more like gold, a commodity? The answer completely changes the rules, how it's taxed, and what you can legally do with it. And you can see this wild contrast in how the world's biggest economies are handling things. Over in the US, it's a confusing patchwork. You have all these different agencies basically fighting for control. But then you look at the European Union. They created MiCA, a single, clear rulebook for everyone. That clarity, it's a huge advantage, pulling in businesses that just want to know the rules of the game.
And this patchwork thing isn't just in the US. There is no single global plan. You've got China, who banned crypto but is building its own high-tech digital currency. El Salvador went all in, making Bitcoin legal money. And then you have places like the UK and Singapore basically rolling out the red carpet to become the world's crypto hubs. Everybody is placing a completely different bet on the future.
And that leads us right into the next huge trend. See, governments aren't just making rules for crypto. They're creating their own version. They're not just refereeing the game anymore. They're putting their own players on the field. And this is where things get really, really interesting.
So, meet the Central Bank Digital Currency, or CBDC. It's basically a digital dollar or a digital euro. It's issued by the government, it's stable, but it has one incredibly powerful feature that physical cash could never have. It's programmable. This table really just lays it all out. A CBDC comes from a central bank, just like the cash in your wallet. But here's the key. Unlike Bitcoin, it is completely centralized and government-controlled. And unlike physical cash, it has very, very low privacy. It's really the philosophical opposite of what Bitcoin stands for.
China is way ahead of the curve here. They are already testing their digital yuan with millions of people, and this money can be programmed. For instance, stimulus funds could be designed to expire if you don't spend them quickly, or they could be restricted to only be used for certain things. It offers amazing convenience, sure, but at the cost of total government oversight.
And this brings us to one of the biggest debates of our time. On one hand, yeah, CBDCs could help people without bank accounts and make payments a lot faster. But on the other hand, it could open the door to unprecedented financial surveillance and control. So the question we all have to ask is, are we willing to trade our privacy for that convenience?
Okay, so while governments are busy building these big, top-down, centralized systems, a completely different vision for our digital future is bubbling up from the bottom. And it's a new kind of internet called Web3. I think the best way to get your head around Web3 is to see it as the next step for the internet. Remember Web 1? That was just reading stuff. Web 2, which is the internet we have now, is all about creating content on platforms like Facebook and Google that, let's face it, own and profit from our data. The dream of Web3 is to fix that, to create an internet where we, the users, finally own our own data and our own digital identity. So how does it actually work? Well, the core idea is a massive power shift. Instead of your identity being a Facebook login, it lives in a crypto wallet that only you control. You can truly own your digital stuff, like art or gaming items, as NFTs. And platforms can reward you directly with tokens for what you contribute, cutting out the corporate middlemen. But we've got to be realistic here. There is a lot of healthy skepticism. I mean, truly decentralized apps can be clunky, they can be complicated to use. And right now, if you give someone the choice between the freedom of decentralization and the simple convenience of a big tech app, well, most people are going to choose convenience every single time. So, here we are. We've got these huge competing forces. This top-down government control clashing with the bottom-up dream of a decentralized web. So where is this all actually heading? Let's break down a couple of key trends.
Okay, one of the biggest shifts happening right now is this thing called tokenization. Just think of it like creating a digital share certificate for pretty much anything with value: a stock, a bond, even a tiny piece of an apartment building, and putting it on a blockchain. This makes it way easier to trade and own. And look, when the CEO of BlackRock, the biggest asset manager on the planet, says this is the future, you tend to listen.
And the potential scale here is it's staggering. Boston Consulting Group thinks this market could hit $16 trillion by 2030. To put that into perspective, that's more than the entire economy of China today. This is not some niche crypto idea anymore. This is becoming a core part of mainstream finance. Now, let's talk about a piece of tech that honestly sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, but it is very, very real. It's called a zero-knowledge proof. The concept is actually simple, but it's profound. It's a way to prove something is true without revealing the secret information behind it. The classic analogy is proving you're old enough to get into a bar without actually showing the bouncer your ID with your birth date and address. That's the core idea. And why does this matter? Because this technology is a potential game changer. It could solve two of blockchain's absolute biggest problems: privacy and scale. Imagine making private transactions on a public network, or bundling thousands of transactions together to make everything way faster and cheaper. This could be the magic that finally makes blockchain ready for prime time. So it's really important to have a balanced view of where we are right now. The technology has had some undeniable successes, right? Bitcoin works. Ethereum's smart contracts have kicked off a whole new financial system. But it has also fallen short on some of its biggest promises, like being used for everyday payments or creating truly private systems. We're not there yet. Ultimately, we're at a massive fork in the road. The future of our digital lives is being built as we speak, and the outcome is going to be defined by this intense tug of war between centralized control and decentralized ownership. So the question all of this leaves us with is a big one. As this new world takes shape, will you be an owner, or will you just be the product? Understanding these forces is really the first step to deciding for yourself.